Hey guys, welcome to Simple Sacred Home. My name is Paige and today I wanted to take you through a day in my life as an Etsy reseller. I started my Etsy shop, simplesacredhome.shop, in May of 2023, so it hasn't even been a year yet, and I've been selling exclusively on Etsy, and I also promote the products that I am listing on Instagram, so technically I do offer the feature to purchase directly through Instagram, through DM, but most of my sales come directly from Etsy. I thought it would be fun to share what it's like to resell if you're somebody who likes antique, thrifted, and vintage finds, if you're somebody who's likes to go and find the fun deals, find the valuable products in the store, but then you're like, I can't keep all this for myself, then this might be something that you're interested in, and it is a way to earn some extra income if you want to. So I think it's a great option, whether you do it full-time or you sprinkle it into the pockets of free time that you have. That's where I'm at in my current season, but I would love to be able to open my own booth one day in an antique mall and bring you guys along on that journey. So hopefully within the next year or so we'll be able to do that. But if you're interested in antique, vintage, and thrifted finds for all areas of the home, I hope you will stick around and subscribe. If you're interested in simple living, homemaking, and thrifting, I hope you would subscribe and join us for a new video each week. Alright, so first thing is obviously you're going to need to go thrifting, antiquing, wherever, Facebook Marketplace, to find the items that you're actually going to list. For the weekend, I showed a short of a couple things I did pick up for resale over the weekend, and these were the two items I found. So I found this pair of beautiful gold brass made in India candle sconces. The detailing on these is stunning, and I did purchase these individually. They were not priced as a pair, they were priced individually. What you want to make sure is, if you're going to buy something like this, that you can get at least 4 times the amount for the item. So say you purchase these for $5, you would want to times 5 by 4, that would be $20, and say, would something like this sell for at least $20? Now another thing to consider is shipping. So I polled my Instagram community over on Simple Sacred Home, said, hey, if you were purchasing an item online and it offered free shipping, but the price was a little bit higher, are you more likely to purchase that item? Or are you more likely to buy the item that is lower price, but then has shipping involved? And more than not, people said, I'd rather pay a little bit more and get the free shipping than the other way around. Because if you think about it, say you're selling something for like $12, but your shipping cost is like $6 or $7. People are going to be like, oh, I really like it, but is it worth buying when the shipping costs almost as much as the actual item themselves? I've found that more people are willing to shop if you include the free shipping. So I do free shipping in the United States, and something like this, I would just calculate the shipping price into the listing price. Only when you pick something up like this are you going to say, can I sell it for 4 times the amount I just purchased it for, but also can I add shipping price to that? If you have to pay for shipping, you're also paying for the supplies to ship the item and things like that, so you want to make sure that you're not paying those things out of pocket. These are going to be going up on the shop today. This painting, this little sailboat, so cute, right? What I first need to do with these items is give them a nice clean, so let's start with that. Hello. So I have this picture here and the brass sconces. That's what we're starting with. Both of these are in really good order, so I don't need to do much to clean them. That's something I do take into consideration. If something's really gross, I might not pick it up. But if it just needs to be dusted or wiped down, that's a no-brainer. So I just have some water on a paper towel. This is art, and it's also in a wood frame, so I obviously don't want to use any, cleaning solution or anything, and it's in really good shape. It has a little dust on it, which is to be expected, So I'm just going around and giving it a quick dust. I am very gently going to go over the actual picture itself too. But when I say like this is barely wet, it's just a little damp. So it's not going to bleed through onto the painting or anything. Looks really good. It just has this little tiny hole right here. It's got a nice hook on the back. So that's all I needed to do for that one. There's no price tag or anything on that from when I purchased it. These ones have Made in India on the back, which I'm not going to take off. I like to see that tag, but these ones have the price tag on it. Okay, so I'm just gonna dust these. A lot of times if you get thrifted candlestick holders or whatnot, you'll find like candle wax in here. These ones thankfully don't, because that requires a little bit more work. But these ones really just needed to be quickly dusted off. Once I clean off the items, make sure there's no price tags or anything like that, it is time to photograph them. So what I like to do, I am definitely learning still when it comes to item photography. I have some wish list items that I'd love to get to make this a lot more professional looking, because my photography is not professional in the slightest. So hopefully within the next couple months I'll be able to get some of those items that will really help make my photography look a lot better and will make it look more professional. But in the meantime, I just try to find a blank surface, either a white wall or a white sheet or comforter, something like that. I like to lay down the items and take some flat lays. And then I also try to find a place where I can hang them up if it's something that's going to be hung on the wall, and take a picture that way too. Sometimes people like an item, but they don't know how they would style it in their own homes. So by taking a picture of it on its own, and then also a way that you could style it, will give people some ideas. Okay, and then these are my favorite candles of all time. These are on Amazon. If they still have them, I will link them down below. The one on the right, or maybe it's your left, is starting to die. I can tell because you can see the difference in how bright one is versus the other. But these have real wax, and these are great for sconces and whatnot because you can have them on the wall without feeling like they're going to start a fire. They're battery operated. So I like to take things like this. You could use a real candle. Sometimes I do that. But for photography, the faux candles actually photograph better. So I'm going to throw these in there just to show what it could look like, and just make sure in your listing you say candles are not included, because some people will think they are. But I like to get a couple flat lays, so I'll lay them down. What I like to do is I'll do a couple like this where they're side by side, or one slightly above, slightly under, and then detail on the side this way, and then also the bracket, and I do it for both sides just so that they know that one bracket's not missing or anything like that. And then I also include the sticker that says Made in India. So I'll do a few flat lays like that. Same with this one, from different angles. Make sure that they can see the little imperfections to the frame. Make sure they can see the signature there and the beautiful colors. And then I like to take a measuring tape and measure the size of the items so that I have the dimensions for anybody who's interested. And also I include pictures with the measurements. So there's a couple reasons why I like to personally include a photo of the measurements when you go to list these items, because what I like to do is I like to clean all the items, then take all the pictures, style them, and then later take the time to list them. So the benefit of taking a photo is, rather than, you know, pulling out your notes on your phone or like writing down the individual measurements, I just have a photo that I can reference, and it saves me time personally. So that's why I like to do that. I personally include those photos in the listing as well. It makes it really easy for the customer. They don't even have to read the measurements in the description if they don't want. It's right there. in photo form. So I think that's helpful. And I am going to go take this artwork and take one more photo in my library / office. I have a gallery wall in there and also my little shelf system that's really beautiful, fun to photograph. So I'm going to grab a photo of it in there just as an extra styling option, and then we'll be done with this portion. Okay, so now that all the pictures are taken, everything's been cleaned, what I like to do is list all the items on Etsy. So today I just have the sconces and the photo or the artwork. I actually have a couple items in my trunk that I should go get and do this for, but it is really snowing out there today. So I think I'm going to wait, but I would say that's my biggest tip is if you are going to resell, it's tempting to buy all the items when you see them in the store, but then delay posting them. And obviously, you don't want to be hanging on to all these items. You're not making money that way, and also they take up space. So my best recommendation is as you bring the items in, try to take photos of them and list them as soon as possible, or put them in your booth as soon as possible if you have a booth, because if not, they're laying around the house, they're cluttering and taking up space, and you're also not making money on them. We're gonna list the sconces in the picture today, and then if I feel brave later, maybe I'll go out in the snow and get the other items and do the same process. But the Etsy process itself of uploading is pretty straightforward, but I will try to show you guys a little bit of that. And then once those items are listed, I will go over to simplesacredhome.shop on Instagram, upload a photo from the listing and say new live on the shop or something like that, and I'll share it on my Instagram story and then link the Etsy shop. So that's really all that it entails right now. I'll also go share it on my simplesacredhome.shop Facebook page as well, which I have, so feel free to go follow any of those if you're interested. But other than that, that is about it. So I'll come back in a little bit as we start listing the items on Etsy itself and walk you through that process a little bit. All right, so we're just going to pull open the Etsy app. That's how I like to add my new listings. And we're just going to hit listings and then create a new listing. I add my photos, and you can drag and drop them to choose your primary photo, which is going to be what the thumbnail is. You can also add videos. Etsy encourages that. And then I'm just going to create a title and list what year roughly it was from. I didn't know, so I went on to Google Lens and tried to find a similar match. I actually found an exact match, but unfortunately I couldn't actually click on the link and find it, so I'm assuming it had previously sold. But I did find multiple listings say that these were mid-century modern. So you don't have to be exact, but you want to get as much information as you can. So use Google Lens. You can take a picture of the item that you purchased. I recommend, and I've mentioned that before, doing that in the store too if you think something might be worth picking up or not, to see if it actually is worth it. And then you're going to put in just the general information, the type of metal it is, or if it's glass. You can put in all different details about it. I have a no return or exchange policy in my shop, so I have to make sure that's marked off. And then also, if you have any shipping profiles, I choose to do free shipping in the United States, so I check that off. And then after I get it listed on Etsy, I just go over to Instagram, like I said earlier, and I create a post sharing the new listing, and then I also will add that to my stories with a link to the Etsy shop as well if people want to shop directly that way as well. So I hope you guys found this video either just interesting or helpful if you are interested in starting your own Etsy shop for resale. If you have any additional questions or want to see more videos like this, maybe more about how to package and ship the items once we actually get an order, then let me know in the comments down below, and I'd love to do another one in the future. And other than that, I will see you guys next week. Make sure you subscribe and follow me over on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next week.